It's week 3, and in the West, every game is a big game. The Lions look to restore their pride after back-to-back losses to open the season.
What could go wrong for the BC Lions has gone wrong.
And the Riders return to Riderville in search of their winning form after being roughed up last week in Toronto.
And Durant slipped. Oh, no, he got leveled.
Roughriders, Lions.
You're watching the CFL on TSN.
Kevin Glenn threw a total of 7 interceptions last year. In only 2 games this year, he's thrown 6. Not putting all the blame on him as to why this BC offense is struggling, but being a veteran of 14 years, he needs to find a way to will his team to a victory.
Talk about willing people to victory. Last year, Darian Durant was on fire. Complimented with a new contract, fresh Grey Cup ring, new challenges in front of him this football season. Looks to find consistency in his game.
Early in the season, competition at running back. How about Hugh Charles right there on the left, competing now with Anthony Allen. Anthony Allen has to secure the ball better. Too many fumbles. Hugh Charles starts. Anthony Allen will play.
Well, welcome back to game number 2 of our doubleheader here on the CFL and TSN. Jock Climby here, sitting in for Rod Smith. For those who aren't aware, he's off. We don't know where, but he's not here. I'm here with the same old panel, however, and we are talking now about game number 2, in particular Saskatchewan Roughriders, where there has been a boatload of changes in Riderville. Obviously, Anderson was traded away this week on to Toronto. We know that Hugh Charles and Jerome Messam are here to show up the backfield. Getzlaff and Neil Hughes are out. Lots of changes, but no change at the starting quarterback. Now, I understand, Milt, that you've been reading blogs, in particular Saskatchewan Roughrider blogs, and you've been getting some information that has you feeling concerned about Durant right now.
I can't even believe you're fixing to go down this road.
You know how it is in Regina. I mean, it's a fishbowl. And
yeah.
Darian Durant has been the most polarizing guy in that province since he's gotten there. And, you know, they'll start saying, well, is Darian Durant elite? Is he legit? You know, he has no sheets, he has no Dressler. And you saw what he did last week. So they're going to start saying those things. I know it's only 2 games, but that's how it is. I don't care if he won the Grey Cup last year. He had a great job. The thing is, what have you done for me lately? And that lately was last game.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because he is an elite quarterback. And what he did last year and led his team in their own backyard to Grey Cup championship puts him in that category justifiably. And it's early to tell whether or not he's going to be are you kidding me? This guy is producing for this football team. He's got a lot of new faces around him. He'll find that consistency. You talk about willing the football team down there and having production. He'll make that happen. This is Darian Durant we're talking about, guys. 9th-year player in the league, and he's an elite quarterback, Schultz.
Guys, I want to talk about the pressure the BC Lions must be feeling because they cannot afford to go 0-3. I guarantee you the conversations went like this. David Braley went up to Wally Buono and said, hey, Coach, we can't go 0-3. Wally Buono talked to Jacques Chapdelaine and said, hey, Jacques, look, we can't go 0-3. You know what Jacques did? He talked to his assistants about not going 0-3. And you know where it finally trickles down to? Is the players. The BC Lions cannot go 0-3. This is their first desperation game, and I know it's early.
They did in 2011.
They can't go 0-3. They can't go 0-3.
They can't go 0-3. They can't go 0-3. They can't go.
I've lost control. I've lost complete control. Is there a head coach? Do we have a head coach in the building who might be able to help us out here and get a little control going?
Clean it up over there. Let's go.
Thank you. Hey, Coach, I'd like you to talk a little bit about Coach Benavides and his attempts to get his team revved up.
Yeah, you know, this week there's a lot of talk about him using the words, I'll try to be careful, we sucked as a unit.
Not very careful.
Yeah, I'll be very careful and say it. But what happens here is the first thing, you're going to be in trouble if you don't put yourself in that mix. And that's not what Mike did. Mike blamed himself and his coaches, says we have to do things better. Our players certainly have to play better, but we have to coach them better. We got to get them prepared better, make sure they know the schemes that we have in place and they can execute them. And they just have to play better football. Sometimes sometimes I'm sure the words he's saying in his locker room are a lot more rougher than what he's saying out to the media, guys.
Well, you know what? It is always a real struggle as a head coach as to how you motivate your football team. But he's a good one, and I think he's going to be just fine. Murray Peterson of Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. You could win the ultimate $25,000 home theater package from Visions Electronics if a kickoff is returned for a touchdown today's game, thanks to Safeway's Touchdown to Win promotion. And if a second kickoff is returned for a touchdown today's game, you could win $1 million. We have two very hungry football teams. In fact, I don't think there's a more entertaining spectacle in sport than to see two teams that have been getting whooped all year long go head-to-head. Kickoff is coming up next.
A notable sense of urgency for a game in mid-July as the preseason favored BC Lions will invade a jam-packed Mosaic Stadium for a clash with the defending Grey Cup champions.
All the talk this week about the running back position in Saskatchewan. Former Rider and last year with the Edmonton Eskimos, Hugh Charles will start tonight. We will see Anthony Allen for Saskatchewan, but it will be the former Rider Charles to start the game. And on the other sideline, discussion on the running game. And with the BC Lions, there's concern with their offensive line. Well, in order to help that O-line, if they give the ball to Andrew Harris more, establish the run, he has to have more than 7 touches in the backfield. That's what he had last week.
Mike Benavides looking for a veteran Lion core that was involved in an 0-5 start in 2011 to lead a resurgence out of this 0-2 hole. Corey Chamberlain didn't like the way his team practiced in preparation for the game in Toronto. One they lost in lopsided fashion. Liked the way they prepared for this one. Won 2 of 3 against the Lions last year in the regular season and won a classic in the Western Semi. And we're looking forward to a good one this evening in Regina. Chris Pivo's got it on the team. Logan and Harris are deep, but it will be Stefan Logan from his 12-yard line. Hops across the 35 and then gets drilled by Tyrone Brackenridge. And they'll stack him up there. So a former Saskatchewan Roughrider, Kevin Glenn, will lead the Lions out. And our starters to watch are brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard.
Well, Kevin Glenn's going to be excited about the fact he gets Emmanuel Arsenault back in the receiving core, a deep threat player, a guy that can make those explosive plays for this offense. They're going to start with Kirby Fabian. We'll talk more about this offensive line because some late-breaking developments as they got off the plane. And I talked about Andrew Harris. He's got to get that average up.
Starting from the 37 and out of the backfield. To Andrew Harris, a first down. Bumped out by Rod Williams. Harris without a catch in last week's loss in Montreal.
Yeah, just 6 catches in 2 games, and this is really just an extension of the run game, almost like those wide pitches. Just get him out in the flat, little toss to get him in space. And if the Lions can help the offensive line tonight by working their offense from the backfield out to the receiving core. 14 for Harris in a 100-yard receiving game against Edmonton to start the season, and then Harris on the ground, and he'll plow across midfield. And Tristan Black, who gets the start at the will linebacker spot with the tackle. Defending Grey Cup champions got it handed to him in Toronto last week, and there was a shakeup in the secondary because of it, a trade. Dwight Anderson now at Toronto Argonaut, so Terrell Mays will move to his spot. Macho Harris takes over for Mays at the wide side halfback. We will see Weldon Brown, who is a linebacker, move back into the secondary a little tonight as well.
7 for Harris on the ground for a team last in rushing. There's a drop. Courtney Taylor had that one bounce off the grill with Terrell Mays in coverage.
And a chance to talk about the fundamentals of the game of football. And for the young receivers watching this is why coaches harp that you have to catch the football with your hands. Don't let the ball come to your body and then try and press it against your shoulder pads, because that's exactly what will happen.
Former Rider Ricky Schmidt sails that one. It will hit the goal line and bounce through for a single point. Marche Green was back. It's a 52-yard rouge for the BC Lions to open the scoring. And so Darian Durant gets set to take the field. Here are the Riders starters to watch.
Durant 8-8 against the BC Lions in his career, and this is where we talk about the running backs for Saskatchewan. We'll see both Anthony Allen, who was benched last week against Toronto for his fumble. Hugh Charles will start, and when they do throw and go play action to those backs, Tosh Smith has been the #1 receiver. Was last week with a couple big plays.
Was in the Western semifinal as well, but all eyes on this running back situation, and it's a pretty interesting one when you consider the leading rusher in the league has been bumped by Hugh Charles, who was released by Edmonton.
And was benched for about a quarter and a half a week ago. So we'll see Hugh Charles.
By the way, the Riders won the toss, deferred. They're going against the wind, which is gusting up to 30 kilometers an hour, but gain time. And Charles up the middle against the Lions defense that's been vulnerable early in the season against the run.
Yeah, and it really shouldn't be, because when you look at the lineup, this is an all-star group. Khalif Mitchell is a big surprise. He has not had a defensive stat in 2 games, and that's a guy who comes back to the BC Lions. They expect big things from him in the interior of the D-line. Now, Big Hill and Elamimian have both put together some numbers, but this has not been a dominant defense.
5-receiver package with Eron Riley into the game. Tosh Smith the catch. Big Hill with the tackle, and it should be a first down.
Well, I love this matchup that we're going to watch all night long, and that's going to be the veteran Dante Marsh in the short side corner against Tosh Smith. And Marsh closed in a hurry, and Tosh Smith just fights him off to make the catch.
Now Anthony Allen checks in, a first down for the Roughriders. Charles bouncing outside, and he is sliced down across the 50-yard line. Hugh Charles, a little more speed than Allen to get to the edge.
Yes, he has. He's got those quick feet, quick change of direction, and he's one of those scat backs. He's going to take this, and the Lions line up across the line of scrimmage. They look like they have 8 men on the line and don't have a guy in contain. That's what I talked about with this BC defense. They played well, but not dominant, and they should be dominant when you look at the lineup.
2nd and 3 after the 7-yard gain, and Charles again, and he, with the second effort, should have a surge close to the first down. Played 3 years with the Riders as a backup, and then went to Edmonton, where he took over a starter's job with the Eskimos.
You know, I talked to Corey Chamberlain about this decision, and he said he wanted to make the statement to Anthony Allen and to say that, yeah, we don't accept the fumbles. We're gonna stop that right now. We're gonna stop it early. And so he wants to make this change, send a bit of a message. They have not given up on Anthony Allen at all, and we'll see him in this game tonight. He told me it'll be up to George Cortez, and it won't be a rotation, 1 series, 2 series. It'll be a gut feeling, some short yardage. Allen comes in, and they're both going to play. But he wanted Allen to know fumbling is not acceptable.
Even when you lead the league in rushing, he's got to earn his reps back. He's in the short yardage. 27 pounds heavier than Hugh Charles. Maybe an option here, short yardage. Tino Sinceri in as well, 3rd and less than a yard. Off the right side, should have
it. You mentioned the different weights there. Anthony Allen at 220 and Hugh Charles under 200 pounds. So, you know, this also gives this Rider offense sort of a dual threat, different types of backs. One back that can be more of a power guy between the tackles, and one that can be a scat back and get the outside edge.
Well, there's Charles setting up in a slot, and now back in motion. And 6 receivers up for Durant, and the pass in behind. the intended target, Allen. And Durant is directing traffic after the play. Somebody went the wrong way.
Yeah, he was talking. It looked like he was talking a bit to Hugh Charles. He came back to the huddle, and Anthony Allen was the intended target. That ball thrown in behind him. Tough catch for a receiver, let alone a tailback.
And Allen not only leading the league in rushing, but with 10 catches as well coming into this third game. 2nd and 10. Allen remains in. Durant under pressure, scrambling, and he'll throw it away to avoid a sack. As Solomon Elimimian, who has graded out well in the first couple of weeks, applies the pressure.
Yeah, Solomon Elimimian's done his thing. I mean, I mentioned his numbers are good, and he is up at 12 tackles, a forced fumble after 2 games, comes off the edge here clean without being blocked, and forces Durant to get on the run and throw it away.
Talk about the Western Semi last year when Durant took off a number of times. Elimimian was not in that game. Here's Logan from his 16-yard line, trying to bump it inside. He is leveled. Scott McHenry leading the surge downfield along with Sam Hurl. And a flag comes down. And it's going against the Lions.
On the return, illegal block. BC, 99, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Penalty on Jabbar Westerman. Backs the Lions up. When Andrew Harris and BC go back on offense after this. After the penalty, Lions will start at their own 10. 6 receiver set. Now Harris lines up back behind Kevin Glenn. And the pass is caught by Colton Taylor. Up near the 20-yard line.
That's been a great start for Kevin Glenn in this offense. 0-2 start to the season for BC, but Kevin Glenn is moving up the list in the all-time passing leaders in CFL history. In fact, it's 158 yards before that last throw, away from 40,000 on his career.
Taylor gets in, 2nd and 2, and Willie Lombardo comes in this double tight end formation. And on to Harris, and he'll get a first down. And a little bit more as he carries Brian Peters for a few extra yards.
Well, what he really wants to do more than anything is eliminate the turnovers, and that's been the issue for BC. They rank last in the league in the giveaway takeaway at -6, and Kevin Glenn has thrown 6 interceptions, and that's something very uncharacteristic to him in his last couple of years in Calgary.
6 for Harris and a first down for BC. Quick hit is packed, and Andrew Harris has been the focal point of the Lions offense here in this opening quarter. Had a couple of drops last week. Didn't get a catch, but a 13-yard reception here.
Yeah, you know what? I noticed the difference right away from the first 2 games for BC and watching the film of this team is the ball is coming out of Kevin Glenn's hands a lot quicker.
That'll make it easier for that offensive line. Get up 9 sacks in the first 2 weeks. Now Logan inside.
Well, they've juggled. They've juggled that offensive line up in a big way. I mean, tonight you've got Ryan Cave starting at left tackle out of Hampton. Big man. Can he hold up a tackle in his first start? Kirby Fabian starts at left guard behind him again, a guy who's been injured and very little experience. And then Norman Valley and Olafioya at right tackle.
Mike Benavides joked today. He said we've gone from 1 game of experience last week on the left side all the way up to 5 games of experience. So Fabian, we're ready to go. 2nd and 7, trying to convert, and the pass incomplete. Intended for Emmanuel Arsenault. First time his number's been called.
I think there's a little pressure on Kevin Glenn here from Ricky Foley. 3 sacks after 2 games for Foley on the season. Got him all 3 of them in the first game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He's going to run a stunt here, come inside, and catch Matt Norman a little flat-footed.
Here's Schmidt, and with Ricky Schmidt, the Lions cover teams have been much improved. Green let it pass, and he's got a real problem back at the 5-yard line. So misplayed by Marche Green. Late flag after all of that. But the Riders backed up after what turns out to be a 65-yard punt.
I'm not sure what the flag is because it can't be no yards. The ball was touched with the Lions definitely outside the 5-yard mark, I believe.
Well, Green covered the football, and somebody may have piled on at the end.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. BC, number 51. 15 yards from the end of play. First down, Saskatchewan.
Going to call it on the long snapper, Jordan Matichuk. And that gives the Roughriders a little breathing room. Let's have a look as Marche Green has an adventure.
Jordan Matichuk gets the call, and I'm not sure why. He's the center, number 51 here. The ball's getting kicked around. Now, it's picked up and looks like he's trying to run again, and Matichuk is in on the tackle. I'm not sure why the flag came out there at all.
Boy, it's another one of those phantom calls on the native of Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Enhances the Roughriders field position. That ball tipped.
Well,
and will fall incomplete.
You know, and it's a big one, because the Lions go from containing Saskatchewan, where Durant starts this drive from inside his 5-yard line, to getting the breathing room. I mean, he even picks up 5 to 8 yards here and punts. They can punt it out and not give up the safety. So it's a big call.
There's Jamal Johnson getting a hand on the football, playing a different role this year in the BC defense, returning to the Lions from Hamilton. 2nd and 10. Here comes the puncher, and Kareem Smith gets to the quarterback. His 2nd sack of the year, and the veteran defensive end sacks Darian Durant.
Well, first of all, they put Solomon Alamimian outside of him, and there he is inside of that defensive end, and watch the stunt as he comes back in on the loop. And this time catches an all-star group at O-line. A little flat-footed.
So a 2 and out after that penalty, and they do back the Roughriders up to their 10-yard line as Josh Bartell gets set to punt. Into the wind, and do you give up the safety here? Logan awaits as Bartell lets it fly. Midfield Logan. And the cover team gets the job done again. That's the rookie, Dylan Ainsworth, getting down in a hurry and registering his 5th special team tackle. Big defensive play by Kareem Smith as the Lions have come to play. As it turned out, the toughest step en route to the Grey Cup title last year was the Western semifinal. A legendary performance by Darian Durant, 270 yards passing, but 6 carries, 97 yards running as he took control of the game, and the memory's still haunting the Lions. And with more, here's Lee Jones.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Speaking to receiver Courtney Taylor, he talked about as soon as he entered Mosaic Stadium, the memories came flooding back. In fact, they lost the way they did, losing late in the game, really put a bad taste in his mouth. And he did mention that he did circle this game on the schedule, saying when you lose like that, you got to get him back as soon as possible.
Here's the hitch to Arsenault, all the way down to the 35-yard line, and an 18-yard pickup.
Well, Darian Durant will take off and run, and that may be a way to try and break down the defense. You're right, Chris, when you went to commercial there, that the BC Lions have come to play. And Manny Arsenault, this is what he can do. Takes a little hitch pass, picks up a 1st down all on his own.
One of those guys the Lions feel just raises the confidence level of everybody around him. First touch for him, and now Harris, left side, back through the middle, and Andrew Harris crashes down to the 18 and has another 1st down.
That's now Andrew Harris's 5th touch offensively early in this game for 57 yards. So already, remember, we've talked off the top that Andrew Harris had just 7 carries last week in the entire game. He's at 5 now.
And 5 first downs for BC in the opening 10 minutes. Empty backfield, takes one way, goes the other, and it's Logan. Dropped by Tristan Jackson.
Well, clearly the adjustments are twofold for Kahari Jones and the offense for the BC Lions, because they're going with their twin set, which is both Andrew Harris and Stephon Logan in the game. Logan's outside. The middle receiver is going to run this little bubble screen out here, little hitch screen, I should say. On the other side of the formation was Andrew Harris, which forces the defense to play them both.
He was wearing green last year with the Roughriders. Got the Lions moving, 2nd and 20. Harris, or Logan, excuse me. And a little stutter step down to the 8-yard line.
You know, I
should be enough for another first down.
This is also going to help the offensive line, because now you got Harris going a little bit more productive than he was last week or all season. You get Logan in that twin set back in there. The defense is forced to play more of the field, the entire field, when you play them on different sides, and the O-line can just fire off the football no matter who gets it behind them. This is probably their best start all season up front.
6 first down, and now 1st and goal. And the Roughrider 8. There's the blitz. Here they come into the end zone, and overthrows Courtney Taylor, incomplete. Of Kevin Glenn's 6 interceptions, 2 have come in the end zone in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's why he threw this out to where only Courtney Taylor could run underneath it. He didn't want to get another one intercepted back there. Empty backfield, so empty set for the offense for the BC Lions. He knows he's got pressure. He's not going to have anyone to block Tristan Black. Throws it to the very back, and if Courtney Taylor can't get there, no one can.
Here comes the heat into the corner with a flag down. Again, Courtney Taylor, the intended target. And let's check the flag.
Coverage on the play there for Saskatchewan was Weldon Brown.
Offside, BC, number 86. Penalty is declined, 3rd down.
So Taylor a little anxious.
Well, he had the corner route. He starts right here, and he's got the corner route, and he's running on Weldon Brown, who's former defensive back, played linebacker last year with Saskatchewan, linebacker this year, first 2 games. Now he's going to bump out, play some coverage.
So a hole for the Roughrider defense. Paul McCallum kicks it through. And with just over 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter, the Lions lead 4-0. Darian Durant leads the Roughriders back on offense when we return to Mosaic. CFL on TSN continues Thursday from Investors Group Field. The Blue Bombers take on the Eskimos. Battle of the Unbeaten. Live coverage kicks off 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific here on TSN. In fact, these 2 teams looking up at 3 teams ahead of them, all without a loss, with Calgary winning in Toronto today. Darian Durant tosses it out, and there's Charles on the air. John Bighill will bring him down, but Hugh Charles close to a first down.
Did Hugh Charles just run over the back of a blocker that went down in front of him and just keep those legs churning? Well, clearly he stayed in shape, cut loose by the Edmonton Eskimos a few weeks ago, and Signs with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, who joins this team on June 25th.
11 yards and 25 of the game for Charles. Right back in his hands, a cutback, and he got slowed up there by Aluminum, and the Lions rally to the football.
Well, we showed you Kevin Glenn in the all-time passing list, and Darian Durant moving up it as well. Could get into the top 20 past Danny Barrett this year.
Fun watching them climb the ladder. He has passed Dave Dickinson and Joe Kapp, two great names already this year, with the old Saskatchewan coach next on the list. 2nd and 9. Durant looks to the outside, and incomplete. Taj Schmidt, the intended target. Dante Marsh on the scene, and Darian Durant has said in the past he feels Marsh the best short side corner he works against.
Well, he's playing from back off, cushion kind of coverage, one-on-one, but he's dropping back off, turns his hips, flips him over, and gets there in time to knock it down.
3 straight punts for the Roughriders in his opening quarter. Here's Logan with a burst. Stephon Logan into the open field, and he gets caught from behind. Good hustle to come back by Mark LeGree.
Watch the change of pace on this replay from Stephon Logan as he just kind of changes direction and pace as he's running. It's awful difficult to track him down, or any runner that can do this. He's got the great burst through the hole initially, then he looks up a tackler, bakes the other way, takes another tackler on, and picks up an extra 3 or 4 with a guy on his back. I mean, that change of speed and direction is awful hard to track and give him a little space.
Longest punt return of the year for Logan sets up the Lions near midfield. 37 yards after a 48-yard punt. Back in the hands of Harris. He's got a hole into the secondary and running away. Andrew Harris finally, now he's loose. He'll score. What a run by Andrew Harris. 58-yard touchdown romp, and somehow shed the tackle of Weldon Brown.
Would not be enough. And his head coach is fired up on the sideline. Mike Benavides, gotta love this. Nice blocking by Kirby Fabian at the point of attack, but watch the second effort as he fights off Weldon Brown. Stays in bounds, keeps his balance. Look at the highlight reel. Highlight of the night material.
Had a 55-yard touchdown in the opening series in week 1. A 58-yard run here for Andrew Harris in the final minute of the opening quarter. And the Lions lead by 11.
Well, there's been all kind of pressure on this offensive line, so I want to give them a little love right here and show you Kirby Fabian here and Javon Olafioye over here. First of all, that left guard, Fabian, is going to just wash down his man. Hold it there, guys, for a second. There's the wash block. Kirby Fabian. Now on the backside of this play is Olafioye, and he's one-on-one on the linebacker, Tristan Black. Seals that off, giving Harris the hole to run through, and then he lets that talented back do the rest in the open field, and he fights off Weldon Brown.
That's the first rushing touchdown of the season for the BC Lions. Guess they were waiting for a highlight reel play.
Mike Benavides got fired up on that sideline after that run.
Four carries, 87 yards for Harris. Second touchdown of the season, first on the ground. So 10 points in the last 2 possessions for BC in the dying seconds with the wind in this opening quarter. Schmidt kicking it off, and Marche Green from the Roughrider 5-yard line. Up across the 25 with 4 seconds remaining in this first quarter.
Marche Green took that ball to kick off his face mask. He's having problems in the return game. keep an eye on that, and then this game goes on.
And Darian Durant having problems getting the offense rolling. 22 points now for the Saskatchewan Roughriders in the last 7 quarters. Back in the hands of Charles, and Kareem Smith and Elimimian meet him at the 30-yard line. Gain of 3 on the final play. Through 15 minutes
Time to get it going.
And the visiting BC Lions have opened up an 11-point lead. More rushing yards for Andrew Harris in the first quarter than he had in the first 2 games of the year.
Yeah, that really helps the offensive line. He's got 114 yards from the line of scrimmage, both receiving and rushing. You know, it's a simple game when you break it down. And offensively, get the football to your most talented players. And that's what the BC Lions did in that first quarter.
And they did it in a hurry to really take the heat off that beleaguered offensive line.
Well, Dean Valley got off the plane and was almost a healthy or a scratch because he wasn't healthy. He was sick coming off the plane. He's playing through it. At that right guard spot, Kirby Fabian, we talked about how inexperienced he is, and they're playing pretty well. But the scheme is helping them.
Well, now the wind at the back of the Roughriders. See how that impacts this second quarter. Second and 7. Pressure on. Durant looks for Smith. Got him. And Thomas Smith the catch and a first down in front of the onside corner rush.
Again, when Durant does complete a pass here, he's getting it to a receiver that has been pretty well covered. Have to fight and scratch for every yard.
11 for Smith, one of the vets in that receiving court, back in his hands again. Avoids the first tackle and pays the price. Elimimian lowered the boom.
Darian Durant now has 3 completions in this game, and they're all to Todd Smith. So he is leaning big time on the one entity in the receiving core that he knows.
And you know, even in Toronto last week when they had that burst late in the third quarter, 2 touchdowns in just under 3 minutes, it was Smith the focal point there. First and 10. And it's Charles. And he'll good first down yardage on the ground for Hugh Charles. He gets 8 to the line 50.
A little trash talking between Darian Durant and Kareem Smith after that play. Scott McHenry was in that discussion as well, but they got kind of in each other's grills there and started talking as Durant went on the fake after giving the ball to Charles.
Second and 2. And it's a first down run.
See Durant smiled a little bit at the end, so trash talking ended in a good way, I guess, but something going here offensively for the Riders. They get Todd Smith involved in that short side, and I'm seeing Dante Marsh. To me, on that short side of the field, he's getting lower and lower in his stance all the time to get ready for this matchup, and here comes Todd Smith back to the short side again. Watch how low that Marsh gets in his back pedal here.
3 straight first downs to the line 47. Looking right inside. Rob Back's got the catch. Got the first down. As Yellow's goes into the bounds.
Again, the guy knows. Guy knows it in Rob Back. He has not looked at Brett Swain, Ryan Smith. He knows what Rob Bagg can do. He knows exactly how he runs his routes, where he's going to be on every play. And on that particular one, Marsh had walked up and played press coverage on Todd Smith.
Drive started on the Rough Rider 27. They're on the move. 14-yard pickup by Bagg. Fakes to Charles. And Anthony Allen has another Rough Rider first down. And the Twins set for the Rough Riders.
You're right. Hugh Charles and Anthony Allen in the backfield together. There's Allen. There's Hugh Charles. It's going to be Allen that comes out of the backfield here. Little play action to Charles and dump pass out.
8th play of the drive out of a double tight end formation. Would be another first down. Check that, Brett Swain with the catch. Let's check the flags. In fact, there are 2 on the field.
Yeah, that's a 3rd one in the end zone too. I think I saw. So
yeah. Swain's first catch. Let's see if it stands.
Holding. Saskatchewan 66. Legal contact on a receiver. BC. Penalties offset. We'll replay the down. It'll be first down.
So the hold on Chris Best, the right guard. And we'll just pretend it never happened.
It's a do-over.
It's been a better paced game than we have seen in the first few weeks, penalty-wise. So 1st and 10 all over again. They swing it over. Smith gets that first contact.
I believe that's the first catch by a newcomer to the receiving corps for Saskatchewan in this game. Coupled to Taj Smith, and the way they're going to do that again is just a real high percentage throw.
So 7 for Ryan Smith. 2nd and 3. Erod Riley in motion. Swain hit the line in full flight. He's the intended target. He can't make the catch. Ran out of real estate in the corner, working against Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson had to get on his horse because he was beat initially. Swain ran that corner route, and you could see the separation he's created, but Josh Johnson got on his horse. The ball thrown just a little bit too far outside.
Darian Durant telling us last week that Swain has been the quickest study. A guy that was in some complex offenses in Green Bay, Seattle, San Francisco. Learning the waggle. Missed opportunity there. And Milo with the field goal that gets the Roughriders on the board. 4:10 into the second quarter. 8-point lead for the Lions, who have been led by Andrew Harris in a spectacular 58-yard touchdown so far tonight. It's Race Time Canada. An all-new episode of The Amazing Race Canada begins Tuesday at 9, 8 Central on CTV. Got a good race here tonight.
Yeah, 2 desperate teams. One coming off a loss in Toronto, one looking for their first win of the season.
72-yard drive for the Riders results in an 18-yard field goal. And now Kevin Glenn goes back to work. Toss to London, following the blocks off the right side to the 40. He has 5.
Got to give Andrew Harris a little bit of a break after you see what he's accomplished already in 1 quarter of play. 4 rushes, 87 yards, 2 catches for 27, total of 114 yards from the line of scrimmage for Andrew Harris. And it's been up to those big yards after first contact as well. Fighting off tacklers, great balance there in his touchdown.
Riders did a good job of containing him last year, 3 games. Held him to 159 on the ground. 2nd and 5. Logan can't hold on. Remember, we mentioned 12 drops in the opening 2 games for the Lion receivers.
And Kevin Glenn can't throw it any better. That was between the 1 and the 0. And yes, it's a back out of the backfield. Not quite as good hands as a starting receiver, but Glenn's going, gotta have that.
First 2.5 for BC. Schmidt, the punt. Green from the 28. Works his way upfield 10 yards on the return before Keenan Parker makes the tackle. Good last drive by Darian Durant, leaning on the veteran receivers in that rebuilt core as the entire group starts to develop some chemistry.
It's definitely a process. I mean, you know, when you're working with the receiver for the first time, you have to know his trigger moves, you know, when he's about to come out of his break, you know, what he sees in zone. You have to make sure you guys are on the same page at all times. And it takes time. I mean, it took myself, Russ, Robbie, Getz, it took us 6-7 years to win a championship together.
Well, it's taken time tonight. 1 for 5 in the first quarter, Suits. 5 for 6, 58 yards passing so far in the first 5.5 minutes of the second quarter.
We use the word chemistry a lot. I'd rather use the word trust, and that's really what it is. He trusts Tosh Smith. He trusts Rob Begg. He's got to earn and learn the trust. Earn the trust from the other receivers.
See who he trusts here on 2nd and 5. Running out of time. As he slim feet first up near midfield. And we got an injured Rough Rider. Looks like Tosh Smith is on the limp. 10 for Darian Durant, rekindling memories of last year's Western Semi.
4-man pressure from the BC Lions. So Durant took his time and then found
Major
the running
foul,
lane.
unnecessary roughness. BC, number 56. 15 yards from the end of the play, automatic first down.
Aluminium, let's see what drew the flag.
4-man pressure up front. And with 4-man and 5 blockers, there should be a lane somewhere for Durant. He finds it, doesn't like what he saw in coverage, so he takes off and runs with it. Now the hit coming from Aluminium. I don't think he was even down yet. The intent was there to slide.
Hand it off to Hugh Charles once again. And Big Hill wrestles him down.
I'm all for protecting the quarterbacks. I just, you know, it's this one again is really, really close. Now, if they're close, they're going to err on the side of protecting the quarterback. So I understand that as well. But the quarterback has to declare. Now I see it from that angle. It wasn't the timing of the slide because he's still up. It was that he went high and got him around the head.
Hold for Charles. Riders looking at 2nd and 6. Pressure. Just got it. Jump ball. Up against Dante Morris.
Darian Durant got rocked by Adam Big Hill. And he is slow to get up. He stood in there, and Durant took a hammer from Adam Big Hill. Unblocked, he knew he was going to get hit and took it right in the ribs. Now, his receiver comes out with a big play down the field. But it took Durant a second to shake that one off. I'm not sure that he has yet.
Fourth catch, 64 yards for Tosh Smith. Sets up the Rough Riders, 1st and goal. And the Lions call timeout. Looked like they were 1 man short.
Had to burn a timeout. They didn't get the right people on the field.
And now the Rough Riders make an adjustment. Dan Clark to the sidelines and Eron Riley.
Well, that's what it was. Mike Benavides noticed that Saskatchewan went with their elephant group and didn't have his big defense out there, so called the timeout to get the right personnel on the field. Then the Riders switched it up on him, so he's got to switch it again.
Tosh Smith had 4 catches, 126 yards in the Western Semi. A big first half here, and now they try and cap it. Durant looked one way, and Begg unable to make the catch with J.R. LaRose in the area.
I think Darian Durant wanted to back out of the backfield to his left first. and that was covered. It was Hugh Charles. He took a look to that left side first, and it was covered down by a linebacker. There's Charles in the backfield. He looks out there, wants to go to him, can't, and then Rob Bagg just tried to run before he got it.
Riders 4 for 6 in the red zone. They have a field goal today on their first trip. Fake to Charles. And Big Hill somehow knocked it out of Hugh Charles' grasp.
Durant throws Hugh Charles open here because Big Hill had cut under this route. So Durant just alley-oops it to Hugh Charles. But Big Hugh, who was, remember, he was the guy who put the hit on Durant after the deep throw, sticks with it now.
Wow.
Does he have it long enough?
Hugh Charles looked like he thought that was a touchdown.
Now we're slowing it down in slow motion.
They've showed it here at Mosaic. You know what Mike Benavides feels about it. The capacity crowd here thought otherwise. And the challenge.
Let's run a regular speed and take a look at it that way. Yeah. Just take a look at it in regular speed. Slow motion might skew this look a little bit. From the snap in regular speed, take a look if on just the timing. This is going to be a tough one.
It really is.
This is a very close one. You know why I would almost lead to the Saskatchewan side that is a touchdown, because it
Saskatchewan is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. We will review the play.
It looked like Hugh Charles kind of slowed down once he had caught the ball. He slowed down. That's when Big Hill swatted at it, knocked it out.
Does he secure and take a step with the football? Very tough call.
This is a tough one. It really is. I mean, now
different angle here.
And the ruling on the play is incomplete. So that's important to know here as they review it. Here's another angle, just in regular speed. You see how he slowed down at the top of it? Just not sure if he had it long enough.
Heck of a play by Big Hill.
The ruling on the field has been confirmed by replay. It's an incomplete pass.
Okay.
It'll be third down.
That's a close one.
That's an enormous play by Adam Big Hill.
Oh, absolutely. You stick with it. And the only thing that I thought that could skew it a little bit was that he slowed down after he had it in his hands. But the timing was that close.
So it's a 10-yard field goal attempt for Milo. They'll settle for 3. So back-to-back field goals by the Roughriders on their last 2 possessions. They thought they had a touchdown. Five-point BC Lion lead as we check back in with Lee Jones.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. Dwight Anderson was traded earlier this week by the Saskatchewan Roughriders to Toronto. One of the main reasons head coach Corey Chamberlain said they did it was to add new leaders, young leaders on this defense, including Tyron Brackenridge. Now, Brackenridge already considers himself one of the leaders. In fact, he blames last week on himself, saying it's his job to energize the team with his plays and his energy off the field, and he came out flat, and that's on him. Now, he's been trying to get the energy up in the second quarter of this game, going down the sidelines, talking to the defense, although he was interrupted by Corey Chamberlain after that Andrew Harris touchdown, and Chamberlain passed along his own message that I can't repeat on television. Guys?
I think he had a lot of company in the lack of intensity department last week.
Yeah.
Harris from inside his 10. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line. Paul Waldo and Kevin Rechenbald on the tackle.
Been the best start so far this year for Kevin Glenn as a BC Lion. A couple of adjustments. Quick passing game, using Andrew Harris a lot more. Still just at 50%, but I've counted 3 drops The last one from Stefan Logan hit him right in the numbers.
10-10 in his career against the Roughriders in his 225th CFL game. Line start at the 28. And the pass caught. Short game. Courtney Taylor dropped immediately by Macho Harris. Gets into the starting lineup with the departure of Dwight Anderson.
Well, he'll play the wide side halfback spot. That's where Terrell Mays was playing. And then they take Terrell Mays and they put him into the boundary, and he'll play alongside of Rod Williams. So they're real excited about Terrell Mays and what he's capable of, and that was one of the reasons that Dwight Anderson was traded.
5 for the Lions on first down, 2nd and 5. Between tight ends, goes to the other side, and it is Collins. And it is Jackson. Has a line first down at the 40.
And that, you know, that short side will be tested by Kevin Glenn. Corey Chamberlain told me that he just felt like the relationship between he and Dwight Anderson and Dwight Anderson and the team had run its course. And he wants to see Terrell Mays, and he doesn't want to wait the season to see him in the boundary.
It's the initial first down of the second quarter for BC. At the 40, here's the sweep. And Chad Boyer is stopped. Guyton, Weldon Brown all in the area. And maybe a yard, but looks like they spotted it just about the line of scrimmage.
One more thing about the Dwight Anderson trade, and Corey Chamberlain said to me just before the game, you know, he's proud of how he helped Dwight Anderson on and off the field and wishes him the best in Toronto. Thinks he still has football in him, but for his team right now, this was a move he wanted to make.
Sam Hurl at middle linebacker. Brian Peters goes to the bench. Second and about 9.5 for Kevin Glenn. Under pressure. Gets Courtney Taylor. Another drop. And that's first down. A lot more yardage. And he hung on to the football.
And that's the second from Courtney Taylor, and the frustration from Coach Benavides starting to show. And this is just a tremendous play by Kevin Glenn. Buys time, pump fakes when Courtney Taylor's first covered, absorbs the hit there so he can get himself a little more space. Now Taylor opens up and can turn the corner and pick up big yards, and he took his eye off the ball, turned the corner before he caught it.
He had some room to roam. Marcy Green fields it at his 20. Good return. Up over the 50. Look out! Territory. A 43-yard return from Marcy Green. And the momentum has shifted to the home side. And Jerome Messam providing a block on that return for number 1.
Well, he's going to play a little bit on the teams. Going to roll in there a little bit at fullback, and Jerome Messam, Rolly Lambala, right at the point of attack, gives his teammate a chance.
Play action back. Sheds the would-be sack. Back wide open. And back upended at the 28-yard line.
Kareem Smith can't believe he had Darian Durant in the backfield for a sack. Comes around the edge. Got a little help and went around Scott McHenry. They put a little tight end down there, and that's a matchup that Kareem Smith's going to win more than he's going to lose. But Durant fought it off and found Rob Bag for 19 yards.
Second catch for Bag. 2 for 33. First time the Riders have started in BC territory, and now Charles have room. Into the second down. It's rolled up by J.R. LaRose. Touchdown saving tackle, but it's a 23-yard run for Hugh Charles, who is thriving with this responsibility running the football for the Roughriders.
Well, it's the balance, and now they allow Brendan Labatt, all-star left guard, to do his thing. He goes off the D lineman onto Solomon Elamimian. Chip block off the D tackle, moves to the linebacker, opens up the nice hole for Charles.
69 yards for Hugh Charles on the day. 3-minute warning. Exactly 3 minutes to go in a good first half, and we'll check in with the guys. Josh Milt, Matt, and Schultze get their take on the running game in this first half. Who needs this more? And have a coach's playbook with our coach Paul Appolice. This has been fun.
Good first half of football here tonight.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say both teams needed it.
Yeah. You think? Playing that way.
First and goal. Durant looking for Swain. Overshoots Swain with that matchup against Josh Johnson, the strong side linebacker.
Josh Johnson replaces Corey Banks in the lineup for the BC Lions. They're testing him. Been running in that corner route a couple times.
Got a few armchair quarterbacks on the crew wondering why they didn't run the football there. A tough crowd. 2nd and 5. Here comes the heat. Look out. The Root gets away again. Into the penalty. And he'll hold on to that.
Knew he had backside pressure and spun out of it. It looked like he was going to take another big hit. And at the last second, he spins out of what should have been a sack for the BC Lions. Watch this spin. Just catches his attention at the right time.
Alex Bazzi, an Olay. And Ty Smith has his 2nd touchdown of the season. 5th catch for Smith. Milo, the extra point. And the Roughriders have their first lead of the night. Breakout year last year, and it looks like he's en route to another big season.
I want to show you this, the mistake that Bazzi makes here. Watch Durant as he snaps the ball. Now Bazzi's going to come from the left of your screen. Go ahead, run it, guys. Durant, when he gets ready to run this spin, get ready to freeze it. Hold it there. Hold it right here. Now, the defensive end's got to get upfield shoulder so that if he scrambles into where your teammates are, not spins out and around. He cuts under to that underneath shoulder, giving the escape lane to Darian Durant. Now once he's open, he finds Ty Smith in the back of the end zone.
4 plays, 47 yards for the Rough Rider Major.
Now Hugh Charles is a newcomer, but he's got to keep his feet and get a piece of Alex Bazzi because he's not going to make that mistake twice. Charles kind of missed him there.
Couple of near sacks, but the Lions didn't finish. And Darian Durant did. Here's Logan. Up to the 30 for Stefan Logan. Brought down again by Reginbald. All the points have been with the wind so far tonight. It is starting to diminish now, down to 16 kilometers an hour from over 30.
Remember that year?
I'm sure you do. Tell me about the whole. Don't.
We don't have enough time. There's only a half of football left. That's a story for later. The Lions got to exercise some demons when it comes to catching the football right now.
Got just under 2.5 minutes. Trying to regain the lead. Andrew Harris has been their most dangerous man up to the 35. He has 5. Tate George with the stop, and 92 rush yards for Andrew Harris in this first half.
Rolly LaBalla is going to get a little more playing time, especially on first down as they try to again assist this offensive line. He's right here, full back on this running play to Andrew Harris. Moves around, hits the line, gets on linebacker here. Brian Peters drives him right out of the picture.
pressure from John Chip. Pass is caught. It is a first down. And again, Harris out of the backfield. Will move the chain. Sam Hurd was trying to stay with him. Good matchup of two good young Canadians.
Well, they go back to the running game, back to Andrew Harris, because that's in the first quarter where they had the 114 yards of offense and the success. And when they went to the passing game to extend it, that's when Gary Jones saw guys drop the football, like Courtney Taylor, who has a couple. And if he doesn't get a kick soon, that's going to keep working.
8 for Harris, first down at the 23. Quickly on his hands again, and Andrew Harris again. Into Saskatchewan Roughrider territory at the Rider 50. And that's 21 more for Harris, who has been a dual threat tonight.
And they're lining him up in different spots in the field. We normally see number 33 in the backfield, but look where we see him this play. He's that second receiver in between Courtney Taylor and the other side.
The London. There's Arsenal. He is cut down in a hurry. Weldon Brown there to make a quick stop.
That's a play made by film study more than anything, because Weldon Brown reacted without even having to see that. I mean, see it live. He just reacted by formation and was right there before Arsenal could even turn the corner and take a look at making a move.
No gain on the play. Marsha Green checks in as an extra defensive back for the Roughriders. And the Lions keep it going here in the final minute. Draw play. Harris trying to get outside. Derek Walker got a piece of him and limits the damage.
You know, you go draw on second and long. Sometimes this works and it can be an off-speed pitch, but it only works in second and long if the draw hole is in the middle between the tackles. If defensively you plug up the middle on a chance where you run the draw, if this is plugged up, then the play will extend too long and the pursuit will get there. And Ricky Foley on that stunt plugged the middle, widen the play. They'll get the first there.
Also stepped out, which stopped the clock. Roughriders may get some time here. See if Marshall Green can give them some field position, as he is stopped around the 18-yard line. So 38 seconds remaining. 2-point lead for the Roughriders. See what they do with this final half minute and change.
Big second quarter for Durand. Remember that big hit from Adam Bighill? He shook that off and made some plays back there when he should have been sacked. Bought some time. One of the touchdowns, a couple of first downs.
Had 6 yards passing in the first quarter. 119 with the breeze at his back here in the second. Charles, and there is Kareem Smith again.
Sold out crowd here at Mosaic Stadium, and it was interesting to hear, and I know you can hear it at home too, when Durand is calling the signals and the offense has the ball, it is dead quiet in here. And the moment that Kevin Glenn tries to do the same thing, the volume goes up. Listen for Durand calling the signals here.
Back in Charles' hands. The BC Lions are on it. It's J.R. LaRose with 5 seconds left. And time enough for Paul McCallum to come onto the field. So he got the job because of Anthony Allen's fumble problems.
Yep.
And now he gives up what could be the first half lead with a fumble of his own.
Well, and what does Corey Chamberlain do?
Cord Parks knocked it loose. J.R. LaRose gets on it. And you're right.
I mean, the first fumble from Anthony Allen of the season was in that torrential downpour in Game 1 against Hamilton. It was clearly his fault in Game 2 against Toronto when he put one on the ground, and that's why he was benched. Now, Corey Chamberlain said he wanted to send that message. What does Chamberlain do with Hugh Charles now that he's fumbled once?
McCallum 3 for 3 on the year, 1 for 46. This from 41 into the breeze. And McCallum puts it through, and the fumble cost the Roughriders the lead. Final play of the half.
We back in this thing.
J.R. LaRose fumble recovery leads to a Lion lead. What a first half for Andrew Harris. Just a good first half of football. As we join Jock Climbing and our panel.
Thanks very much, Chris. We're going to do an edition of Coin Toss, a little different. Normally we go around the league and take some topical events and do this segment, but I thought, you know, for a change, I want to make these guys work. I want to challenge them a little bit, so I came up with some questions about the first half leading into the second half. So we're going to do a little real-time coin toss. Let's get it started. Yes. And very apropos, we're going to talk about fumbles first. Corey Chamberlain sat down the league's leading rusher in Anthony and put in Hugh Charles. Mm-hmm. And I want you guys to tell us, is that the right move? Should he have started Hugh Charles in this game in place of Anthony Allen? Nope.
No. No, we're talking about the leading rusher in the league coming to this game. 224 yards, averaging 6.2 yards. There's no way. This has been the workhorse of your running game. He needs to be starting.
No, I'm with you, Milt, on that one. Anthony Allen should be in the football game. Hey, he's a running back coming out of training camp. Hugh Charles is new to this football team. He's put the ball on the ground a couple times. You heard Glenn Suter talk about it. What do you do now? Corey Chamberlain, you've backed yourself in the corner. I say stay with Anthony Allen. He's a big back, and I think he fits your team well.
I'm going to say yes. As much as you need two quarterbacks in this league, you need two good running backs. And I trust Corey Chamberlain understands the psychology of Anthony Allen. It'll affect both players in the long run in a positive way.
Well, I'm going to stick with the running back theme, and let's talk about the BC Lions for a second. Obviously, Harris has had a big half, but Logan, I think, is arguably the more dangerous back. Who would you feed the ball to more in the second half? Come on, Stefan Logan. He's been dynamite all year. That's why they brought him in. I want to know. Wait your turn, Maddie. It's coming.
I know.
I want to know who you'd feed the ball to in the second half, Milt.
I'm going to go with Logan. I know some may think, wow, Logan, but Harris is having a monster game. And because he's having that monster game, I think the Roughriders are going to come out and key on him. That's where you can sneak Logan through the back door. Get Logan the ball, you may have some success this second half.
Feed Harris. He's on fire. Go to him, wear him out, ground, in the air. Give him the football. This kid is feeling it, and go to the hot hand. Andrew Harris all night long.
I like Andrew Harris. He, last year, was put in his place with the addition of Stefan Logan. He's going to respond. He's going to have a great second half as well.
Now, in fairness, when I came up with that question, Stefan Logan didn't have a drop yet. That sort of made me feel that maybe that was obvious. But I like your point. That's a good point. Hey, little diversion. Never hurt anybody. Right. Okay, last question, guys. Who needs this win more, the BC Lions to avoid 0-3 or the Saskatchewan Roughriders who never want to go 1-2 at home? Milt?
BC Lions. I mean, the Roughriders, they've already won a game. BC Lions haven't won a game yet. You start the season 0-3, there's going to be some problems with the BC Lions.
Milt, it's Saskatchewan. The way they played last week was dreadful. They're at home. They got to defend your home turf, and you don't want to be in the fishbowl. It'll be more like a pressure cooker if you lose this football game going into the bye week. Can you imagine 2 weeks sitting on 2 losses? Not going to be good.
No way. BC Lions 0-3. That sounds terrible. They have lost a game to Edmonton already. Could they lose a game to Saskatchewan 0-2 in the division? Man, BC's got to win.
Well, there is a very spirited, real-time coin toss. We will be back with the GMC's coach's playbook and Paul LaPolice after this. This ball game is a tight one. 14-13 more after the break. CFL Fantasy is now a reality. Go to tsn.ca/CFL Fantasy to set your roster for a chance to win a trip to the 102nd Grey Cup and a Joseph Abboud suit from Moores. Every pick counts. Make yours today. I am joined by Lapo now and GMC's Coach's Playbook. Back at it again. And I want to talk to you about really the BC Lions offensive line play has not been good this year. And Saskatchewan obviously has seen that may be a weakness, and looks like they found some ways to attack it that you've noticed.
Yeah, you know, and one of the things I want to talk about is coaches. Coaches are all thieves. They steal from each other. And one of the things I noticed watching the film last week, there is a pressure that they struggle against Montreal with. And I'm showing you Montreal clips because I got a story here. So you're going to see here, you're going to see the nose guard is going to go into the center's outside shoulder. You're going to see the end going on the outside shoulder of the guard. And then the linebacker, John Bowman's going to come right around. This is called a twist. Kevin can't handle this twist. They missed it 3 times last week. Now, take a look at what you see on film. This is Saskatchewan in the first quarter. This looked very familiar to me. Same twist. You're going to see the same thing. So Richie Hall, watching film this week, said, hey, you know what? It worked for Montreal. Let's see if they can handle it. It's something that as coaches break down the film every week, Jock, they're going to be in a situation going, hey, you know what? They really struggle with this twist. We've got it in our system. Let's see if they can handle it.
It's always amazed me that there's no pride involved, right? When you steal somebody else's plays, that's just how it's done.
That's what you do.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I just wanted to ask you quickly about Darren Durant. I mean, he looks like having a good game, but that play when he pivoted out and then threw that touch. I mean, you coach this guy. Is this what he does better than anybody?
Yeah. As defensive coordinator's worst nightmare is they've got the right play called, and they're in a situation where they can make the play. The guy's right there, and Darren breaks a tackle. He's probably the strongest lower body quarterback I've ever coached, and you can't coach that. It's just an amazing play.
No, you can't coach Darren Durant and tell him how to do that, and you can't coach guys how to take him down. At the end of the day, he's just too big and strong, and as Glenn Suter said, you got to take the upper shoulder and just try to wash him towards where you have help. We've got a great ball game going here. BC Lions up a point. Milton Stiegel, give us some first half stats, please.
Thank you, Jock. Well-played game by both teams so far, but the talk of the first half has to be Andrew Harrison. The first 2 games combined, he had 165 yards from scrimmage. His first half, 145 yards. Will they keep feeding him in this second half? We'll see.
The aforementioned Andrew Harris is standing by with Lee Jones.
Andrew Harris, 149 combined yards and a touchdown in that first half. What's working to give you so much room?
We're just getting off field on the blocks right now and creating lanes, and you know it's working well. We just got to keep continuing to do that, though. You know we're having hot flashes here and hot spurts, and we're also quiet sometimes too. So we need to be fluid for 60 minutes. We got to win this second half here.
You needed that field goal to take the lead. How frustrating has it been for the offense, considering several drops of stalled drives?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know we're in this game right now, and we're not playing great. So we got to come out and get a full 30 minutes here and close this game out.
Thanks for this.
Thank you.
I know it's a good problem to have, but I think the BC Lions really do have somewhat of a problem with Andrew Harris and Stephen Logan. I mean, Logan has risks being left alone when one of them's getting off. The other guy's necessarily going to sit and watch a fair bit. Speaking of sitting and watching, Natasha has joined us. She's been sitting and watching us do our thing and rolling her eyes for quite some time.
Well, I thought you were making it sound like I don't do any work around here. I do work.
I would never suggest
It'll
that.
come after your piece is done here. Okay, let's get to the first game tonight. Calgary taking on Toronto. The Stamps without John Cornish and Nick Lewis, but it did not seem to matter. Direct snap to Jock Sanders over to Bo Levi Mitchell. Heaves it downfield to Anthony Parker. The play would be reviewed, but it stands. Touchdown Stamps. It was 10-6 Calgary after 1. Calgary's first possession of the third quarter. Mitchell connects with Jeff Fuller. 31-15 Calgary through 3 quarters. Toronto still looking for its first touchdown of the game. Ricky Ray gets hammered by Charleston Hughes. The Stampeders go on to improve to 2-0. They take this one 34-15. Coming up on SportsCenter, LeBron James has spoken since announcing he is going home. We'll also have Jay's highlights, the World Cup. That's right after the Riders and Lions. Jock, back over to you.
Well, so far, Kevin Glenn has been a great caretaker of the football after throwing 6 interceptions so far this season. He's trying to figure out how exactly to avoid throwing any more. Saskatchewan looking for ways to take it away.
Lions up by 1, looking for win number 1. But the Roughriders have other ideas. Coach Corey Chamberlain standing by with Lee Jones.
Coach, tough first half for Hugh Charles, that fumble at the end. Do you consider using Anthony Allen more in the second half?
Yeah, there'll be a change there. We'll make a change, but hell, I need to change a lot of different things because we're not playing good football all the way around. Fundamentally, we're just not sound right now.
Defensively, how do you stop Andrew Harris?
Well, the biggest thing is we got guys out of their gaps doing different things. Too many guys trying to make plays. We got to be fundamentally sound. Okay, that's how you win football games. They're doing a better job of that right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Keywords fundamentally sound, and that's what Anthony Allen is working on right now, is fundamentals when it comes to securing the football under his right arm. Cover both points of the football, one with your arm, one with your hand, and it sounds like Hugh Charles is going to find a spot on the bench.
Wow.
The 11th commandment in Saskatchewan, thou shalt not fumble. Lions have the win. They'll get the ball to start the second half. And it will be Logan. And it is Logan bursting across the 40, tripped up at the 45. Paul Waldo, the special teams captain, got him on the ankle. And we got a look at the Twins set in a special teams play. Two running backs both on the field together for this kickoff return. Andrew Harris tries to lead it up there. Stephon Logan picks up a 27-yard return. Lions enjoyed better field position in the first half. Average start 41-yard line. Here they begin at the 45. And they start with Harris again. And the Roughriders ready for him, led by Brian Peters, the middle linebacker. Big first half for Andrew Harris, 145 yards for Harris and a touchdown. 10 touches for him, 6 along the ground, 4 through the air. Kevin Glenn was 10 of 16. Had a handful of drops, especially in the second quarter, and Adam Bighill had the 6 tackles. Also had that knockdown. Harris with 95 rushing yards after that 1-yard run. Had 4 100-yarders last year. Second and long, Glenn in trouble and dropped, but flag comes down and somebody got the face mask. Looked like Trevor Guyton grabbed the grill of Kevin Glenn.
Yeah, I think he did. And is not arguing about it at all.
Major foul, face mask, 15 yards. Saskatchewan, automatic first down.
Just 6 penalties in the first half. Here's the first of the third quarter. And not much doubt.
Dean Valley might have got away with one there. Like he had his hand up in the face of Guyton, but no question he got the face mask. And the drive continues. And moves into Roughrider territory at the 49.
Taylor Arsenault motion, and now the handoff following Arsenault's block. Logan got inside. It is fenced up by Terrell Mays. They'll mark it at the 41.
A lot of this offense for the Lions is going to the right side of the formation. Again, Rolly Lumbala up here is a tight end. He's normally a fullback. And why not? I mean, that's where Javon Olafiore, former All-Star, is. 5-year veteran. Dean Valley, who's playing ill tonight, going through. But Kahari Jones, the offensive coordinator, saying, if we're going to run the ball, why not go to our experienced side and our experienced tackle and maybe leave Ryan Cave over there a little bit. Try and get his feet right. 8 for Logan, 2nd and 2. Hunter Stewart running a battle, double tight ends. Logan straight ahead
And has the first down.
Having said that, I haven't seen Ryan Cave, and there was some concerns about him starting to hit that so important left tackle spot with a right-handed quarterback. I haven't seen him really give up any glaring big, huge pass rushes or any glaring mistakes. Ryan Cave trying to settle in. That's a big boy. Trying to get that, just getting that helmet on was, I'm sure.
He's listed at 345.
I mean, that, you need a sledgehammer to get that helmet on him.
It is just enough for the first down.
That's a big man right there.
I think it's wise not to go down that road any further. But an extra week in the Lions system has been useful for the big guy out of Hampton. 3 takes the handoff and surges for 4 more.
One thing I wonder here for the BC Lions is with Courtney Taylor. And his last 2 attempts were drops, and is Courtney Taylor, until he gets the ball again, that is going to mess with his mind. And the longer it takes to get him the ball again, the more it will mess with him. And in a game like this, it's going to be tight. You're going to need them all.
8 catches on the year, 5 last week. 2nd and 6. And they don't get the play off.
Time count violation. BC, number 2. 5-yard penalty, and then 2nd down.
Kevin Glenn, I think, and Matt Norman had a word or 2. And although he's new to the team, we were told even before week 1 that Kevin Glenn will let you know when you've made a mistake. That's not the first time count violation by a visiting team here at Mosaic.
Exactly.
So 2nd and 11. Arsenal got a quick jump, and did they get it off this time? So the crowd disrupting the Lions here. This time it's a procedure call. Looks like against the left tackle.
BC number 57.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty remains 2nd down.
And when he moves early, you notice.
Yeah, and maybe we jinxed him a little bit. First down. He's going against John Chick, who gets into that sprinter stance at defensive end and comes out of it like the sprinter. And he comes around that corner.
So 2nd and 6 is now 2nd and 16.
And I did jinx him. You go back to that play that was just whistled down because of the time count where Ryan Kay went offside and flinched. That was the one that Chick finished the play. He went around. On the next play, he makes an inside move. He just planted in the head of Cave that he's got that speed to the outside. And the very next play when they do snap it, he makes an inside move and beats him cleanly.
They got into field goal range, but the Riders moved them back out. Marshall Green. And he'll be game tackled at the 17. Jason Araki at the bottom of the pile. Rolly Lambala having words with Spencer Moore. And it'll be Rough Rider football early 3rd quarter when we come back.
Want to go back to that sequence where John Chick just messes with the mind of left tackle Ryan Cave. This is where he flinched and got the procedure call, but Chick finished the play. Then he comes back and he goes, okay, now I got it in your head, I can get out and around you. I'm going to make the inside move, chop the hands down, and he gets home.
Anthony Allen now in the tailback. Hugh Charles, 13 carries, 86 yards first half. But his last carry ended with a fumble, so Allen gets a reprieve here to start the 2nd half.
And I got to tell you, I like this from Corey Chamberlain because it's consistency. And players understand if your coach is going to be hard like this, and this is hard, as long as the rules are the same for everybody, you understand what the standard is, and you better live up to it or someone else is going to play. As long as there's consistency there, players will accept it.
4 yards on Allen's first run of the night, 2nd and 6. Time for Durant. And overthrows Rob Bagg with Josh Johnson in coverage.
And Anthony Allen gets a couple of plays here, and he executes that last one. It's not complete for Saskatchewan. I just want to show you how this guy now is going to be focused in, Anthony Allen, and come over here, be assignment sound, take on the blitzing Adam Bighill, do his job right, so he gets another series.
2nd 2 and out of the game for the Rough Riders. Short kick. Logan flagged down as Logan is dropped right at midfield. Well, let's find out what couple of flags on the play. How good will the field position be for BC when they sort them out?
On the return, illegal block, BC 45, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So Jason Araki, the veteran, called for an illegal block. Lion football at the BC 40 when we come back to Mosaic. Well, there is a small pocket of orange here at jam-packed Mosaic in the sea of green with more. Here again, Lee Jones.
And thanks a lot, Chris. BC brought 24 fans on their chartered flight to this game. It's called Operation Orange. It's the second year they've ran this program where they bring fans to some road games. It's a chartered flight. They also get a chance to look around the stadium the day before, and they actually have the pre-game meal with the team itself. Of course, they don't interact as the team's getting ready for the game itself. Guys?
Well, they're being drowned out here, and it has become a factor in this third quarter, the crowd noise. And is this another time count against the Lions, or just play had not been whistled in? Now we're ready to go. Looking on, wanted a little more urgency in practice, and apparently his troops responded this week. Harris kicks it inside. And he'll get maybe 4 as Terrell Mays moved up and contained Andrew Harris, very close to 100 on the night.
Kevin Glenn's going to have to try and handle this crowd noise by calling the play and basically sticking with it. That means that any movement from the Saskatchewan defense just before the snap of the football can confuse Glenn, because he can't call it and change the play on the line of scrimmage. You just can't get that communicated.
We've got Harris at 99, 4 there, second and 6. Is caught in traffic, and it is Arsenault with the catch and a first down for the Lions.
We talked in the first half about the leadership that Arsenault brings to the lineup, and saw him talking on Twitter, as a matter of fact, about his role as a leader on the team. And he said, I learned it from G-Roy Simon. G-Roy Simon used to look you in the eye before games and say, are you ready to go? Because I'm ready to go. You ready to go? And I'm doing that with all my teammates.
Over 1,000 yards, 2010 last year, 885, first game after a broken hand. And Andrew Harris does hit the century mark. Derek Walker, the tackle, as Harris gets to midfield and maybe just a bit beyond.
Well, keep doing it. That's the old school thinking for offensive coaches is, it's not broke, don't fix it, just keep going to the well until they stop it.
He had 26 yards rushing last week, looking at 28. He's doubled that combined total. Second and 7. Harris releases. And in trouble, and he is dropped again.
John Chick got some help.
T. George will chop back to 7. But they're getting plus pressure once again.
Well, John Chick is getting the best of Ronnie Cave on the outside now. This time, it's a straight bull rush. And that's a big man out there, listed at 345, and he gets on his roller skates and is going the wrong direction.
Terrace George has a sack in each game for Saskatchewan. 3 on the season. Couple for the Riders here. Good tackle downfield made by Torrey Williams. So it remains a 1-point game midway through this third quarter. Rough Rider football when we come back. Our course, Sack Tallies brought to you by Pure Later, tackling hunger across Canada. Check. And the Roughriders with a pair in this game to retake the lead.
They came out of the gate in this contest in game one, double digits, and as good as John Chicken at that sprinter stance.
There was an illegal block, Suits, on the last return against Alex Anthony. So Roughriders start deep. Anthony Allen, Solomon Vivian shoots the gap and brings Allen down for a loss.
Anthony Allen knows what it feels like. Dropped one in the torrential downpour against Hamilton, but this was Toronto last week, and that was his fault. And then on the sideline after that, played in the second half, worked on the technique. Hugh Charles, just before the half tonight, gets it knocked out of his hands. Now he's riding the pine.
2nd and 13 from his end zone. Durant looking downfield in trouble. Gets away. Bring him down. What a series for the middle linebacker. Back-to-back tackles. And a second straight 2-and-out here in the third quarter for Durant and the Roughriders.
This is the dominant type of performance that I know a lot of people have been expecting from this linebacking core. Again, you know, their numbers have been pretty good, and they're not playing poorly, but they can be dominant. In 2 plays in a row, Solomon Vivian, he just took this team defensively on his shoulders.
They're a man short, and Sam Hurl has to scramble onto the field.
That's an awful feeling when you're that guy.
It's not like you can sneak on there. Bartel the boot. Logan, midfield. Late flag as Logan is dropped at the 49 of Saskatchewan. That's the second time he's brought it into Saskatchewan territory on a return, and flags have been flying.
Mike Benavides is losing his mind about these penalties on the teams.
On the return, illegal block, number 26, BC. 10-yard penalty, first down.
This time Cord Parks. And again, they are backed up into their own side of midfield once again, but it is live football when we come back.
Coach Benavides getting upset about the penalties. This was a couple of punts ago, and this is the Rockies call, and that was clipping from behind. Coach gave him an earful. Now this was the last one on Cord Parks. Now, Cord Parks, when they get to the film session, may get off the hook, because he got called for that as a clip, and he heard about it when he got to the sideline.
As the Riders read the mail, talked to the coach this morning. He wanted to send out best wishes to his father-in-law, Ian Cabral, who is recovering from surgery and watching tonight in an Edmonton hospital. So I'd like to send our get well wishes to Ian Cabral as well, as he watches son-in-law in the heat of battle tonight.
Yeah, pretty intense.
Has checked into the Roughrider defense. 2nd and 10. 3-man rush underneath. Can't make the catch. And he was wrapped up there by Shamari Williams on the scene. 2-and-out BC.
Late flag here. Well after the play, and a couple of riders have got their hands up in the air.
And so it won't be 2-0 BC.
No, it looks like this may extend the drive.
After the play, objectionable conduct. Saskatchewan, number 41. 10-yard penalty, first down, BC.
Oh boy, Coach Chamberlain not happy with the guy he was hoping would take a more of a leadership role.
Yeah, you heard Lee Jones, and there's the taunting.
And that's clearly taunting.
Brackenridge made sure he wasn't still running.
Tyron Brackenridge was not going to miss that tackle.
And it was a tough one to make.
It was very tough to make. He was deep in the middle, and Stephon Logan, who's got great moves in the open field, had lots of space either side. After what happened with the penalty, 41 was not going to miss that tackle.
13 though for Logan, 7 for 39 on the night. First down, BC, flagged down. Another play that the Lions unable to get off. It's a procedure call against BC.
Procedure, BC, number 57. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And the left tackle guilty once again.
Rolly Lumbala has got to become part of this scenario for BC. If they want to give Ryan Case some help, they can do it by lining up the fullback. Lumbala as a tight end to that side, especially if it's a one-on-one against Chip. If he's going to the other side, he's with Javon Fiore, who's an all-star.
It might tip off which side they're going to. First and 15. They do go to this near side. What a good break up by Terrell Mays. Playing in Dwight Anderson's spot. Not as loud on the field, but makes the noise with his play.
Well, and they're like I mentioned the first half, they're so happy with him. They want to see him on that short side. I think the short side halfback, Chris, is the toughest position to play in the secondary in the Canadian Football League. You're facing the best receiver night in and night out. It's a quick throw to the quarterback, all kinds of motion. That's a tough spot to play.
Kevin Glenn has one completion in this third quarter. Derek Durant does not have one. Second down. They hand it off. Here's Harris bouncing off LeBron. And bounced out there by Mays. But he got close to the first down. Good run again by Harris.
We've seen a lot of great runs from Andrew Harris over the last couple of years. I don't think I've seen him play with more determination than I've seen him tonight. And that's saying something because he plays with determination every night. But he is just, there's another level to how relentless he's been and how many hits he's taken.
Third guy finally bounced him up, but he broke 2 tackles, and they will send Paul McCallum out.
He wanted to stay on the field. He was trying to convince Mike Benavides to go for it on third down.
Third and a yard, and they're not going to go for it. Defensive battle like this. Benavides wants to claim a 4-point lead.
Take the points. And that's a full yard.
Unless something's on. From 40. And McCallum has missed it. And Marshall Green's going to bring it up. And he'll get dropped at the 10. First miss of the year for Paul McCallum. And dating back to last year, that ends a streak of 9 straight.
Not sure he should have brought it out, though.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision. Would have been a 2-point BC lead.
Which is no different. Still, field goal gives you the lead. If you're Saskatchewan, let's take a look at the hold from Ricky Schmidt. It's good, laces away. Just missed it.
Looking for the first completion, and one hops it short of an open target, Todd Smith.
Go ahead, go.
Well, CFL Fantasy is now a reality. Go to tsn.ca/CFL Fantasy to set your roster for a chance to win a trip to the 102nd Grey Cup in Vancouver and the Joseph Removed Soup for Moors. Every pick counts. Make yours today. Third straight start for Saskatchewan inside their 20-yard line, and now looking at 2nd and 10. Big Hill on the blitz, and Josh Johnson too, and Big Hill will wrestle him down. Avoided the first contact, but Adam Big Hill cleans up.
Remember when Bazzi penalty in the first half, took the wrong shoulder, and Durant spun out of it. This time, I'm going to show you how Johnson is going to take the right shoulder. Now, Durant still gets away, but he gets away where Johnson gets some help. See how he stays high? And now when Durant turns, he's got a bubble so deep that it allows everyone to rally to it. That was the right angle to take from Johnson.
And they elect to concede the safety. And it's 16-13 after Marche Green's decision to not bring it, or to bring it out after the missed field goal. This is Super Moon, and our guys can do a lot of special effects in the truck, but they have not done anything with that. Gorgeous full moon.
No lens filter there, folks. That's the real deal.
And no John Cornish jokes either. Under 3 minutes left here in the third quarter.
Let me say congratulations to the Calgary Stampeders on their win.
They look good.
Our game, yeah.
Stamps out of the break. Bo Levi lit it up in Toronto.
5th straight win. He gets going, and 4 TD passes for Bo Levi in that game.
So the home team in the first 2 weeks had won 7 of 8, but Winnipeg wins in Montreal, Calgary wins in Toronto. Lions would like to continue the road theme in week 3. Edmonton with a home field advantage win last night to go 3-0.
And I'm with you. Marshawn Green shouldn't have run up after that miss.
Kick to Logan. And another good return for Logan up near midfield, and this time no flags.
Message heard loud and clear from the head coach for the return team for the BC Lions. Now can Ryan Cave hang on head-to-head against John Chick? Or do the Lions try and get him some help with Rolly Lumbala, or a quick passing game, or run away from him?
Motion goes near side. They give it to Harris. And Harris tackled by Ricky Foley on the Riders' side of half at the 54.
And they'll just keep going after that. If the Lions don't make the adjustment. Now, I did see Rolly Lumbala in there, but Richie Hall will continue to try and get John Chick matched up on Ryan Cave.
Lions have just over 2 minutes left with the slight wind advantage, but they've had great field position in this third quarter and only put 2 points on the board on that Rider safety. Looks like the Riders made it outside, a pump it underneath. Looking for Taylor, who was well covered, but looked like Ricky Foley jumped the gun.
And if he did, then just a lack of focus for Foley, because Glenn wasn't going to complete that ball. He had problems getting them lined up. The crowd, again, was a factor. And that play didn't look like it had much of a chance at all, but I did see Foley move forward. Now, was he drawn off? I think that's the argument he's trying to make.
Long discussion, so they're going to sort out whether or not
Offside.
he was drawn.
Saskatchewan, number 95. 5-yard penalty remains, second down.
So it does go against Foley, and Foley insists somebody flinched on that Lion offensive line.
There's Ricky Foley there. Oh, little Dean Valley was looking at the ball and did that little head snap.
9-year vet.
Center's allowed to head off. The guard is not.
So second down to Young. And Logan inside and closing down quickly was Derek Walker.
So, wow, it's really interesting because Matt Norman looks like we got an injured rider. But Matt Norman, as he gets set up, is able to bob his head a little bit. In other words, when he gets that football, there's Norman right there. he can move his head up now, but watch Valley looking at the ball because of the crowd noise, and then once he hears the snap count from Kevin Glenn, now he gets ready to pick up his man. But that's what drew Ricky Foley. Now I'm wondering if the officials are allowing that movement from Valley because of the crowd and the situation, saying, yeah, you're allowed to move your head in this scenario, but generally speaking, the center is the only guy who's allowed to flinch like that.
Derek Walker continues to get attention, the newcomer in the front four for Saskatchewan, who just made a key tackle to force third and at least a yard. And looking at both perhaps the neck, and there's some obvious concern from his teammates.
Well, when I saw first contact, I was thinking stinger right away, and I hope that that's what it is. Watch Stephen Logan take the football here, and he's going to he shoots the gap there nicely, and then you just see he kind of reaches the looks like he loses strength in his arm, and
he does have movement, legs and arms, and that is a good sign. And
such a weird feeling when you get those, because you lose feeling in your hand. And
as Corey Chamberlain about Derek Walker last week, he said very quiet, roommate of Xavier Fulton in college, and he said both of them are very quiet, but a guy with a tremendous burst, and you saw it on that last tackle.
That was great play. They're just going through the protocol to make sure he'll be okay, and it looks like he will be. That's great to see.
A couple of sacks in the opener against Hamilton. And gets a nice hand as he heads off. Gave Mike Benavides a little extra time to contemplate third and a yard and a half. These two defenses have almost played to a standstill in the third quarter. And the punt team does come on.
Well, it's an important punt. Not put it in the end zone.
The former Rider angles the punt. High, down for Green. They're going to call no yards. 15 yards. Jason Araki, did he give a full 5? The official says not. Unless there was something else that drew the attention of the officials.
No yards. BC. 15-yard penalty. First down, Saskatchewan.
That one hurts.
Well, let's take a look. This is right where the ball was caught. That's... One, two, three, four. Technically,
it's close.
You're inside. You're in between 4 and 5.
Half yard back would have saved the 15. Anthony Allen straight ahead. They are calling by the book in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah. Second chance for Anthony Allen, and even though I understand Corey Chamberlain's message, it will take away a little bit of the creativity from both these backs, I believe, because they'll be so concerned with ball security.
Here's a big play. They got 2 and out on 3 straight possessions. Large fly. Ty Smith the catch. That would have moved the chains. Dante Marsh, the tackle. Looked like the Roughriders were offside, and it may have been Eron Riley. And the Riders are marching back.
Offside, Saskatchewan, number 15. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
Eron Riley's been quiet until now, and this is not how you want to get your name announced. on a first down throw from Darian Durant. Riley clearly offside.
Hey, screen drop.
Second and 9 after the offside. And Durant takes a look for it. Incomplete. Josh Johnson was tracking the veteran receiver out of Queens, and that's the final play of the third quarter. The defense is dug in, and it's a 3-point BC lead headed to the fourth. Four possessions for the Roughriders in the third quarter, 4 2-and-outs, and yet they're only down by 3.
Big third quarter from John Chick defensively for Saskatchewan. The BC defense also playing very well. The Saskatchewan Roughriders and Darian Durant had just 1 yard, no first downs in the third quarter.
So obviously the defensive adjustments worked at halftime. What offensive adjustments need to be made in the fourth quarter?
Well, I think for BC, you bring in Rolly Lumbala and you play him as a tight end to help out Ryan Cave at left tackle. That's one thing, and then you continue to get Andrew Harris running the football, and now he can run on that side as well. And for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Darian Durant has got to start trusting some of these receivers and give him a chance to make some plays for him down the field. I don't think he can just rely on Tosh Smith.
Bartell, a line drive boot. Logan fields it just inside his 40, and now he's got something. Cuts midfield and tried to shift gears on Bartell, who would have none of it. Nevertheless, he runs it into Rough Rider territory to the Saskatchewan 50, and it's a 21-yard return for Logan, who's done a nice job tonight.
He really has. On the teams, getting some blocking help. When the BC Lions haven't committed a foul on these special teams, they've been pretty dangerous.
Trevor Guyton into the game at defensive tackle for the injured Derek Walker. Harris will take the pitch. And Harris has about 5 off the left side. Ricky Foley in on the tackle as they follow Rolly Lumbala out of the Suter playbook.
Well, they bring the tight end over here, Rolly Lumbala, just to the very right of your screen. This is Cave we've been talking about at left tackle. So if you want to run that side, put the tight end / fullback over there. Get some help for Cave. Now let him just roll over whoever he sees in front of him.
Now Lumbala's gone to the bench. Kilo Poplar in for BC as a receiver. And a quick hitter, complete. It'll be a first down. And the catch made by Pobla, his first of the night.
Two things that Keto Pobla's got to continue to do. One is he's got to stay healthy. He's had injury problem. Not necessarily his fault, but some bad luck in that regard. But when he gets his opportunities, he's got to take full advantage, because I think time is running out for Keto Pobla unless he starts to make some plays. That was a good one. A tough catch over the middle.
2 catches in week 1 and a drop, and no catches last week. That's a big one to maintain possession. And there's Harris again with a surge as he continued down to the 30-yard line. Andrew Harris with another strong run up the pipe.
Well, he refuses to go down on first contact. Folks, just watch a guy play his heart out tonight. I mean, he is hit at the line of scrimmage, balance, hit again, 4 or 5 on that play.
Second and 1. They feed Harris the football. He'll get the first down. Been the best weapon in the game. Andrew Harris moves the chains again.
Playing like an 0-2 team. He's playing like he wants to take this team on his shoulders.
dragged Terrius George for about 4 yards. George weighs 277 pounds. 190 all-purpose yards today. Well, little mix-up there, but they'll dump it off to Arsenault. And Arsenault is upended. Well, think on the corner, Rod Williams. Think on the fly there, Chris, for Kevin Glenn. You're right. There was a mistake in the backfield. Stephon Logan either went the wrong way or Glenn did. Either way, Glenn had to make it up as he went along. Now it's adapt and overcome. So they get 3, 2nd and 7, in field goal range. Six receivers out. Quickly away for Harris. And out of his reach is Weldon Brown. Tracked him all the way. But they move it. And Kahari Jones showing his frustration. And it's getting animated on that line.
Is it ever? Or there be a flag drawn on a special team play. Offense is very intense over there.
Here's McCallum from 30 yards out. 2 for 3. 3 for 4. So Paul McCallum caps it, and now it's a 6-point BC lead. Just shy of 4 minutes into the fourth quarter.
Offensive coordinator George Cortez got to figure out a way here to get this offense kick-started as this fourth quarter starts to wind down. 0 first downs and just 1 yard since the halftime break.
35 points in the last 9 quarters. Durant unloads. Drops the football in behind coverage, which would have been the biggest play of the night offensively for the Roughriders.
And Darian Durant cannot believe it because he put this ball on the mark. First of all, he moves the safety, J.R. LaRose, to get that back to the front side seam right here to Riley. Riley's in behind Ryan Phillips and has a shot at that. Hits him right in the breadbasket.
Well, you'll be thinking about that. Durant told me last week he felt that Ron Riley was ready to make some explosive plays, but Owen blew up on him. The ball comes down. Ty Smith, the most reliable receiver, dropped the ball, but gets it back, and let's find out what this flag's all about. The 11 for Smith, and what would be a first down negated by another hold.
Coach Chamberlain talked about it.
Holding Saskatchewan, number 66. 10-yard penalty remaining, 2nd down.
It's Chris Best.
Talked about it at halftime. Not playing sound, fundamental football, and it's those little mental mistakes. A drop pass on a deep ball.
Practice, coach. Practice. Thank you very much.
And Kareem Smith just pulled him down. Chris Best.
Roughriders' 6th penalty of the second half. 2nd and 20. More heat. Durant on the run. And he'll throw it away. Closest man to it was Riley. And the frustration continues for Durant, who suffers a costly drop from Ron Riley on that series. 5 2-and-outs for George Cortez's offense in a row.
Well, right play called on the deep ball. And that's what George Cortez, I'm sure, will say to Durant. Don't worry, we had the receiver, we had the play called, you made the throw.
Bartel, it's like a shake that will bounce out at the 46 of BC. And just prior to the last series, the average starts, BC starting at their 48 in the game. Average start for the Roughriders since the start of the second half, their own 17. That's why the Lions are leading by 6. We've had the green carpet up here for a visit to Saskatchewan. Lions have the lead. Riders trying to figure out a way to stop Andrew Harris.
Picks up 3 or 4 there, which will put Glenn into that passing scenario. And he's been going to Harris in that case as well. Those quick screens, sometimes even getting them down the field.
Second and 7. One got the quickly Arsenault the slot, and he's got it. Big first down for Manny Arsenault to the Rough Rider 35. 24 for the returning receiver, number 84.
Working on Rod Williams, gets inside leverage and just clears the linebacker, who in this case was Tyron Brackenridge, came down from the safety spot, cleared in behind him, and Glenn put it right on him.
5 for 53 for Arsenault on the night. Arsenault in motion, Harris straight ahead once again. And he'll be game tackled just inside the 35.
Javon Olafiore is slow to get up here. He got twisted around at the backside of the play. It wasn't going to his direction. That's their only experienced.
I was going to say, that's all the Lions need is another old lineman to go down, but Olafiore looks like he'll battle through.
Only experienced tackle in the lineup.
Number 13 on our TSN top 50 list, playing in his 75th game. Trying to be disruptive as we look at 2nd and 6 for the Lions. And somebody moved.
All kinds of movement. First of all, Andrew Harris came up there. Looked like he wanted to talk to Matt Norman about something. Norman looked to Dean Valley, who was moving around.
But did the Lions get a timeout in?
Timeout. BC.
They did.
No infraction on the play.
Play clock was about to hit 0. And the coach burns a timeout, but may have saved the down. Did save the down, trying to save the possession.
Well, yeah, I think Coach Benavides saw that there was confusion up there, and they didn't. On a 2nd and 6, this point of the game, wanted to make sure they got the play right.
Don't have any timeouts left.
And in a tight game like this, that could come back to haunt you.
But in a position to extend it beyond a one-score game. 2nd and 6. Here they come. Glenn steps up. Thoroughly in pursuit. And Glenn hooks up with Harris. What a play. Kevin Glenn to Andrew Harris. And the chains move again.
And that's, we talked about chemistry, trust, however you want to call it. How does Kevin Glenn know and understand that when Andrew Harris, after this scramble, puts his hand up like he's going to go deep, he throws it to the back shoulder, he puts the brakes on, comes back and makes a nice catch right on the sideline.
Great presence from Glenn to avoid crossing the line of scrimmage. And maybe that's what's going to be challenged here. As there is a challenge from the Rough Riders. Is it the Harris catch or whether Glenn crossed the line of scrimmage? And we're told it will be the catch that they will challenge.
Saskatchewan is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass. We'll review the play.
And does Andrew have a little guilty look on his face? We'll have a look here as he was up against Brian Peters. And did that pop loose or not?
Well, he has it there. Now, does the elbow touch?
And does he trap or not?
Well, we've had a couple of close ones. This is going to be added to that list. This is
line judge is
like,
right there.
He has to survive contact with the ground because he's going down. So it's the question of not does he have it when it initially hits him, because it looked like he did, but he has to maintain that possession when he hits the turf. And it looked to me on this angle, can you see the ball come out of there? See how the ball looks like it's rolled out of his forearm and onto the turf, and then he gathers it in with the right hand.
Officials right there within a few yards of Harris.
Harris actually got up. Here's one more look that we haven't shown you yet.
Saw the reaction. Was he?
That's what I was wondering.
Was he upset about the drop, or was he celebrating the play?
That's incomplete. It looked like it rolled over his shoulder, over his forearm, hit the turf, and then he scooped it up. Now, as he gets up again, he's got it just to the right of the post in his arms there. It rolls over. Looks like it hits the turf there, and he picks it up.
And the Lions, I think, know what's coming because Paul McCallum's already out on the field. So if they're trying to sell a catch, they're...
And here may be some evidence as well, although the command center won't use this, but I think Rider fans may. Watch his reaction, Harris's, as he gets up and looks at the official and then turns away and goes, "Ah, should have had that one." Is that, I should have had it, or is that, all right, first down?
After review, the player never had possession of the ball. It's an incomplete forward pass. It'll be third down on the 33-yard line.
Good challenge by Corey Chamberlain. Harris did look a little guilty, and when McCallum's out there warming up before the decision, I think the Lions knew what was coming. Just over 7 minutes remaining. McCallum just hit from 40, and now he'll try once again. Even without that catch, Andrew Harris, best night as a pro, 197 yards from scrimmage. McCallum's nailed another, but there is a flag. And what does this mean? Oh boy. It is going against Saskatchewan, and this is going to bring the offense back on the field.
Corey Chamberlain's going to need a bigger bench if this is an after the whistle.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Saskatchewan, number 92. 15 yards from the original point line of scrimmage. Automatic first down.
That's Trevor Guyton, and that's an inexcusable penalty to take at this juncture.
Oh. Doesn't get any worse than taking a penalty at that moment. In a tight game like this, inside of 7 minutes. I think that is a look from the head coach of complete disbelief.
Seventh penalty of the second half, 80 yards against the Roughriders. 11. Down to the 15, Terrius George in on the tackle. Brackenridge moved up from his safety spot. The Lions will take more time off the clock, and instead of 3, they're looking for 7.
BC number 2, 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
How's that happen? bail out his offense
and had to burn the timeout for a very similar reason. Crowd noise affecting getting the plays even called.
So now second and 12. One drops it off. It's caught. John Moore. Taylor breaks the tackle and scores. Courtney Taylor
Makes it all Bedway. Couple of drops in the first half. Talked about how that would mess with him until he saw the football again. They waited till deep into the fourth. Kevin Glenn trusts him on the crossing route, and he does the rest.
Terrell Mays lost a step, and Courtney Taylor leaps in for his second touchdown of the year. Second touchdown in as many weeks. So the Guyton penalty extremely costly. Seven plays, 64 yards, and McCallum's extra point gives the Lions a 13-point lead, 26-13, thanks to this touchdown by Courtney Taylor.
Little redemption for Courtney Taylor here, the receiver. He's going against that short side halfback in Terrell Mays, who's replacing Dwight Anderson, has had a really good football game so far. He gets picked by the umpire, has to bubble around him, and when he has to bubble around him, that allows Courtney Taylor about a step and a half of separation, and that's all he needed.
Marshall Green, the return. First man misses, and now he's drilled Elamivian down there to hold things at the 32-yard line.
Every player that's crossed the stripe has had a drop or made a mistake or been beaten deep. In the first half, Courtney Taylor had a couple.
That might have been the sun, although
that was a big one for a first down, but there's redemption. Now he's going to sit and film study, and he's going to sink a little bit in the chair in the first half. And then he'll get up there proud again and say, hey, everyone makes mistakes. It's what you do after the mistake. He came back and got some redemption there.
So you're telling me Rob Rutley needs to make a play?
You're right.
Rob Bagg just makes a catch, short gain. And that is the first completion, hard to believe, for Darian Durant in this second half. Second and 5. Just under 5 minutes to go. Still time. There's one. And the catch is made. Court Parks brings him down. A little redemption for number 15.
Well, he hung on. Yeah. And Durant didn't give him much choice because he drills this football between the 1 and the 5. And so there, I'll plant one right between your shoulders.
14 for number 15. First down at the 52. Short drop. And Bagg couldn't reach that. Had to lay out for it against Dante Marsh.
Well, I thought he had that. That would have been some kind of special catch. Mark Washington's good game plan together here. BC Lions defensively. Good conversation with him before the game and said, you know, our linebackers grading out pretty good. We need a little bit more from Khalif Mitchell inside. Talk much about him, but better effort.
Second and 10. Here comes the blitz. And Durant got away. Open man. And it's Ryan Smith. And he nearly escaped that. Just got enough of him, but once again, it's Durant avoiding the sack to make a play.
Pressure coming from the secondary. We just showed you Mark Washington. He's going to send some pressure outside from the secondary on Darian Durant. It's going to be Court Parks, the halfback. And that's the guy that Durant shakes.
They go no huddle. And Phillips,
who, by the way, was hoping I could get the opportunity to tell people that he wasn't complaining last week that Montreal ran up the score. He felt like he was big-time misquoted. I said, I'm not sure we're going to get to that in the game, but that's good coverage by Ryan Phillips, so I'll say, hey, I'll send your message out there for you.
I watched the game again just to see what he was talking about, or allegedly was talking about. And
he said, yeah,
it was puzzling.
He didn't think that at all.
Second and 10. Durant steps up, fires, and it's intercepted. And it's Josh Johnson with his first CFL interception. And he's going to take the seat at group. Xavier Fulton's going to angle him out. But a huge interception by Josh Johnson. Intended for Rob Bagg. And the Lions take a stranglehold on this one. TSN turning point. Lions looked like they were settling for a field goal. There was a penalty against Trevor Guyton, and Lions made them pay.
Kept the drive alive. Guyton found his spot. Corey Chamberlain's doghouse.
With that said, that looked like the Riders had something going. Josh Johnson snuffs the drive with an interception, and now with just under 2.5 minutes to go, the Lions in the driver's seat, and they continue to ride number 33. Field goal and a touchdown the last two possessions for BC, looking for their first win of 2014. Won once here last year in a couple of visits. Thomas DeMarco was the winner.
Yeah.
In fact, he started all 3 regular season games. And we wish the Lule family well. Travis didn't make the trip as his wife expecting. Actually, this is the due date. No word on whether the last family's grown by one. Flag down as Harris is stopped short of the first down.
Travis Lule, a couple of weeks into his 6-week injured list stay, and be Kevin Glenn's team until then. But this was desperation time for the BC Lions at 0-2, and Andrew Harris sure played like it.
Well, they get a monster performance out of him, and the sell from Mike Benavides this week is we've got a guy that's been there and done it before in Kevin Glenn. And
offside, BC number 46. Penalty is declined. It'll be third down.
That's Lumbala. And although Kevin Glenn had struggled out of the gate for BC, the team remained confident, and it's paid off tonight, especially when you've got 33 carrying the mail.
Yeah, and I want to also mention the guys up front. We showed Ryan Cave had some issues with John Chick. A lot of tackles, a lot of all-star tackles have had issues with John Chick. But I'll tell you what, they played their best game up front, and there was all kinds of talk on talk radio all week in Vancouver about how that offensive line had struggled so badly to start this season.
Saskatchewan.
Riders call a timeout as McCallum lines a 40-yarder up, which would give them a 16-point lead.
Timer, reset the clock to read 156. 156 on the clock, please.
Did get some discussion here during our last break that maybe Mike Benavides could have gone for 2 after the touchdown. Make it a 14-point lead. Settled for 1, now looks for 3 more as the Riders saved the 20 seconds that the Lions intended to burn.
Yeah. Dan Durazio, the offensive line coach, got in the ear of Mike Benavides there in that break as we were discussing that timeout, and all of a sudden something has now changed. And I think it is that they may put on, there's often on the field goal team, there's 2 separate units. One that's there primarily for blocking first, and then in case of a return, covering second, and then there's the opposite. a smaller group, maybe some more linebackers on it that are there to try and make sure that if the kick is missed, they can cover and go make a tackle. And they're not even going to put the field goal team out there.
So they're going to go for it. They're going to go 3rd and 3, and that leaves it a 13-point advantage if they are stopped. Harris, right sides, stacked up, not going to get there. So suddenly, the Riders still have some hope here. Just under 2 minutes to go. And 2 touchdowns away from a win. Interesting. Yeah.
Interesting decision there for Mike Benavides. I thought John Chick he was so quick off the ball here. It almost looked like he was offside, but he wasn't.
Well, let's see what Darian Durant does with a glimmer of hope. Ball batted down. Well, they talked about growing pains with a rebuilt receiving corps. Eric Taylor, the knockdown of that last throw. And we still don't have clarity on the running back situation after tonight.
Very interesting to see what Corey Chamberlain does next week.
2nd and 10. 4-man rush. Durant steps in. Pass is complete. Allen out of the backfield. Big Hill the tackle. Close to a first down.
Of course, he's got a couple weeks to think about that because the Riders have the bye next week.
BC
Holding.
at home.
Saskatchewan number 58. 5-yard, 10-yard penalty. 2nd down repeated.
Xavier Fulton as the Riders walk back again in a penalty-filled second half for them. Roughriders will host the Argos July 26th, their next game. BC home to Montreal next Saturday.
Not any choice. Not any choice, son.
Incomplete. Dante Marsh breaks it up, intended for Ryan Smith.
Be interesting, you know. Corey Chamberlain's got a lot to think about over the next couple weeks. What I mean about that is where the issues have been. I mean, we talk about the chemistry and trust on offense. That'll come as the season goes on, and no one should be surprised that it's there. I think what's more on his mind right now is the penalties at the wrong time, the lack of discipline. You know, some of the fundamental mistakes that were made that he mentioned with Lee Jones at halftime, saying we're not playing fundamentally sound football. Can't win if you're not playing that. So that goes back to basics.
Line drive. Punt by Bartel. Busiest guy in the field with a return, and Harris up across the 50. There's week 4 schedule. Battle of the unbeatens to open it up.
Yeah, that's cool, but this is also,
yes, it is,
big game right there. And way to go, Ottawa. Can't wait to see that brand new stadium completely jam-packed. Get behind the Red Blacks, and hey, the BC Lions looks like they're getting their first win here tonight. Can the Red Blacks get their first at home?
If I'm coaching the Lions, I'm giving Andrew Harris the rest of the night off. What do you think? Stefan Logan, right side, and not much there.
Hey, you would have been a player's coach.
John Chick, a tackle.
I tell you what, we've seen some great performances, but I think that's the best game I've seen Andrew Harris play.
Yep.
Honestly, and I don't think I'm exaggerating, because he's had some great ones.
Well, this on a night where nobody else really was able to produce any big numbers, and
but it was the desire. It was just the leave it on the field,
and it was all in that run for the touchdown that we saw in the first half that you'll watch a few times on the highlight reels this week. 58 on the one run, over 200, 203 from scrimmage tonight.
Best player on the field for both teams.
And we're into the final minute. Well, they went 0-5 in 2011. They didn't want to follow that script again.
And again, Chris, when you talk about that O-line and how they've struggled, the BC Lions rushed the ball 30 times tonight. That's how you help an O-line that's struggling.
High boot will bounce down inside the 20. No return. Well, they had 213 yards rushing in the Western Semi and felt that they'd be able to run the football better this year. But that didn't happen in the first 2 weeks. It did happen tonight here at Mosaic.
A couple weeks from now, who starts the tailback for Saskatchewan?
It's a tough question because Anthony Allen only led the league in the first 2 weeks and got benched, and Hugh Charles was off and running tonight until a costly error late in the first half. There's another pass knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Been that kind of night.
I don't think Hugh Charles saw the field in the second half.
And the only reason Anthony Allen saw the field last week was when Neil Hughes was hurt. They had no choice.
Yeah, you're right. He hurt his ankle. They really had no choice. He did not have a touch in the second half. I didn't see him on the field.
Ryan Smith underneath, good catch. Close to a first down. And Elamimian fired up for the entire 60 minutes.
You know, it wasn't just young players that made those poor decisions too, like Trevor Guyton, when he extended the Lions' drive and turned into be the points that put this thing away. It was guys like Tyrone Brackenridge. Remember his penalty after the fact that continued to drive.
There's Todd Smith. Favorite target tossed out by Big Hill. And we're down to one more play. Big Hill's play in the end zone saved a touchdown in the first half.
Very close call there. That was it again, Hugh Charles.
We'll have some time next few weeks to talk about the best defense in the league. There's a few candidates in that department. Lions speaking up tonight. Edmonton's left. Whoa! Josh Johnson sends Todd Smith cartwheeling on the final play of the game. The BC Lions are off the schneid, getting their first win of 2014. And the road teams wins 3 of 4 in week 3 of the CFL season. Kevin Glenn's got his first win as a BC Lion on a spectacular night for Andrew Harris, over 200 yards from scrimmage. One more look at the big run by Harris for a touchdown in the first half. 26-13, so long from Saskatchewan.